Hey guys, I'm MegaGWolf and welcome to my playthrough of Sonic Superstars. Been meaning to do this one for quite some time and no, spoilers! Yeah, been meaning to do this one for quite some time. I actually played the game when it first came out on Twitch, which I believe the VOD is available for that. So if you want to see my blind reaction to the game, that would be the place to go. But we're going to be playing through the game as Sonic on a brand new file so that I get to experience the joy of the special stages all over again. Oh boy. And yeah, for those who haven't seen it before, I hope you enjoy the ride. For those who have, well, I'm going to be talking a lot about it. So, about my feelings on it and various things as we go on this journey. I love these cutscenes, by the way. I kind of want more of them. Not necessarily cutscenes in this game, but just like more animations like this. They're so cute and expressive, and I love that. Oh no, the hedgehog alarm! Yeah, just as a heads up, by the way, I'm gonna be praising this game's graphics a lot. I really like the way this game looks. Let's go, Tails! Okay, I guess so, sure. Bridge Island Zone. Yeah, look at this. Oh, it looks so lovely. It's so bright and vibrant. Oh, love it. Love everything about this. Now, the nice thing about this, right, is although it has this 3D vibe, it's a 2.5D, you still got the spin dash, you've got the drop dash still, which is great. I love those two additions. No peel out in this case. But you have pretty reliable physics. I don't think I've actually bothered seeing like a side-by-side, one-to-one comparison, but it definitely feels classic enough for it to work pretty much as you expect it to. And right away, here's a special stage. So we'll get this out of the way and continue that conversation in a bit. Oh, these special stages. There's such a mixed bag with people. I'm in the camp that I do enjoy them, although I can understand fully why someone wouldn't. Because the idea is you're essentially meant to like Spider-Man yourself over to the Emerald. And that can be a little bit tricky and a little bit like sensory overload. I get that, but I really like them. One of the new things that this game does, which, to be honest, I actually hope that future games kind of expand on this or do something similar. Every time you get an emerald, you actually get an ability, and that's really cool because it kind of gives more like usability to the emeralds. So in this case, it's Avatar. This one was the one that was promoted in a lot of the promotional art and video of Superstars, the kind of multiple Sonics. So that's actually a very useful ability to have. That's like one of the strongest ones to get, and it's the first one you get. So there you go. So yeah, physics-wise, I feel like it's pretty accurate. And I've played this enough now where like I feel like I kind of get the physics for the most part, because I have already, like, this is actually within the last month or so. This is about to be my 4th time playing this through, yeah. Not including actually, you know what, I'll bleep that bit out because I just realized that might be technically spoiling it for some, I guess. So, but yes, this will be my 4th time playing through because I did it with all the other characters, Knuckles, Tails, and Amy. Again, for pretty much recording purposes. I hit something, I don't know what it was. And let me tell you, I am so used to this now. I'm so used to the way this game controls and feels, and I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. Like, in terms of just feeling and playing, like, it feels the business, right? It feels the real deal. And that's really cool. I'm actually, like, super impressed now. The more I've played this, the more I've been like, you know what? This is legit. This is just... There are some things that people nitpick and like, you know, fair to them on that. There's definitely some things I can see and agree with. Not everything, mind you. There are some criticisms about certain things that I just don't agree with. Like, I get why some people might think it, and it poses interesting questions, and it's mostly about the bosses. And I'm essentially gonna start saying things that I'm gonna be, because I'm making a Pixelated Bites, like a Pixelated Memories video about this, which is why I've also wanted to do this Let's Play, so I actually have some Sonic footage. And so a majority of what I'm likely going to say during this playthrough might be parroted in that video. Pretty much most of it will probably be parroted in that video. Still check out that video though, please. And so yeah, I actually am wondering what people might consider a good Sonic boss. It's a conversation and a question I'm going to pose in that video, because a lot of people do not like the bosses in this game. And I think I only agree about maybe 2 of them being kind of bad and the rest being fine. Oh, also, if you've come across another special stage ring and you've already got one within the zone, so not Act 1 or 2, in the zone, you can only get coins when you do another special stage ring. We have to wait until the next zone before we can get another emerald, which I'm not actually a fan of that. I wish that it was more like the traditional way. But I guess with the power-ups, it's like, maybe that's why. But then again, there are also parts in the like level that we're just doing now, which do require like later abilities from the other emeralds. So I don't see why they wouldn't let you just get the emeralds whenever you come across one of these special stage rings. I don't know. That's a bit of a weird, just like choice, I think. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the boss's complaints. Because, you know, if you think about classic Sonic, like the original Sonics, there are so many bosses in that which you can cheese, which you can just destroy in seconds, because you're just used to the way that it all works at this point. And it's just like, would you have preferred that? Is there a happy medium you'd like to go for, where like, you know, a boss is somewhat challenging yet still, you know, beatable quickly with skill? And if that is the case, if that is what the kind of like boss you want, do you have an example of that? Like, I'd love to know if you actually have an example of a boss that would give you the satisfaction you desire from that. Because while I can agree that bosses take a bit of time in this, mostly because of hitboxes and such, and like delay between hits is quite long, which is probably the biggest complaint. I don't think it's like as negative as some people seem to put it at, I guess. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well. See, this is going to be more of like a string of just thought, whereas when I actually start like talking about it in the Pixelated Memories video, I hope to make a bit more like sense, because I'll have actually like written out. So here's using the ability, and as you can see, Sonic just hits him. Yeah! I don't even need to do any work. This is why this power is really useful for making all of those like problematic bosses you have. If there's a specific phase that really trips you up, that ability is great for it. And look at you, final boss. But yeah, as you can see, like, this is taking a little while. We're just having to wait for him to do an attack, and then we hit him, and then it's done. Obviously, that's the first boss, and not necessarily the one or any of the bosses that people are actually complaining about. No, there are definitely 2 bosses that are... I agree. And we'll get to those, and I will definitely explain when we get to those why I agree with that. But I think it's just a lesser so problem for me. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, enough about that. We've got a fruit, which wouldn't necessarily be obvious what you do with right away. Also, I'm on a new save file, so any of the fruits and stuff I would have got from the previous playthroughs I've done, you wouldn't get. Oh my god, the music in this level is so good. When it comes to music in this game, man, woo! listen. That's T-Lopes. That's T-Lopes. Magic. Yeah, look how fast this feels. It's so good. When you, like, know the layout, it does so well. I didn't know that could hurt you. What? But yeah, the music in this game, very mixed bag. It's probably the one thing that I agree the most with when it comes to people talking about this, is that the music is... It's a thing. And it's like, I think I have like 1/3 of the soundtrack I really like, and 1/3 of the soundtrack which are okay, and then there's 1/3 of the soundtrack which is not good. And basically, the TLDR of my overall feelings when it comes to the soundtrack is that T-Lopes, we should just T-Lopes from now on. That's it. We don't need anything else. He's good. And he never misses. Like, he legit just, he's the best. Especially when it comes to, like, classic Sonic, right? He gets the vibe, and I think that's important. All right, so now we have Fireball, which is kind of useful. Not gonna lie, it's a very good maneuvering technique. I'm basically going to be trying to go for every special stage as soon as possible when I can. Oh, let's go into one of these just to see what they're like. I don't really get the addition of these. I think these are unnecessary, but they're just sections where you're like, oh, hey, there's rings. It's like those little bits in Mario that you'd have, and then that's it. It's just a few rings, and it teleports you somewhere different. And there you go. You're out. That was all it did. Another addition, woo! Another addition is, there you go. I want to go in this. I don't want to go in this, but I'm going to go in this. So who likes the special stages from Sonic 1? Wow, it's oddly quiet. Is no one answering? Yeah, because whoever decided to bring these back, oh boy. Thankfully, this is just optional. All they give you is more of these coins, which are used to customize your robot, which is just a multiplayer thing, mostly, and completely optional. So you don't need to do these, really. But, you know, they're kind of inoffensive, I guess. They offend me in a lot of ways, but in terms of, like, what they actually, you know, offer and like, the problems that they have, it's, like, not the end of the world, you know? They just offend me in many other ways. Also, you might notice there's, like, a depth of field going on with the visuals. You can turn that off, and it makes those stages infinitely worse. Like, just absolutely atrocious to look at. And if you haven't done that, I implore you, go give it a go. Come back to me, tell me what you thought. I'm sorry for your eyes in advance. I actually kind of like the gimmicks of the jungle level. Although stage 2 is a little bit tedious, it's not too bad. Because thankfully, the nice thing I will say about the gimmicks and stuff in Superstars is they don't overstay their welcome. And then, honestly, not too intrusive. There's Tails. Look at him go. Yeah, one of the things that I have to praise about this game quite a bit is I really like the level design. It feels very flowy if you know what you're doing. And not too often are there actual bottomless pits you have to worry about. Something that I mean, there are, but thankfully, nowhere near as like egregious as some of the advanced games or other 2D Sonics. Especially ones that were of that era of like the Game Boy Advance. I know back in the day, especially I think Sonic 4 had a lot of bottomless pits, if I remember right. It has been a hot minute since I've played Sonic 4, to be honest. Actually, don't think I ever did a playthrough on the channel of them. So maybe that's something I might do. To just kind of like refresh my memory. Eventually, I essentially want to cover all of the Sonic games on Pixelated Memories eventually. So that might just give me another excuse to do that. Oh no, it's a really hard part, never mind. Don't worry, Sonics have got it covered. God damn, you fit in that thing? Holy. I mean, that bot was just barely containing you. You were a large lad. Woo! Nice! So there you go. Hell yeah. It's time for the fruit level. One fruit to play, please. Now, all this is for more medals to unlock more customization for your custom character. So really, there is no reason for me to do this, but I'm going to anyway, because I do enjoy a little bit of a bonus game. And also, it's nice to get footage. Haha, definitely not the only reason I'm doing this, but one of the reasons for sure. It's always good to get extra footage just in case. But, yeah, so the idea is you basically are just collecting as many rings as possible, as well as making sure you pop the gold balloons when you can as well, because those are pretty much just immediate medals, whereas other medals you can get are every 100 rings that you get. You'll also get a medal or coin, whatever you want to call them. Oh, I meant to... no. This is bad. I'm not going to make this one, I do not think. Oh, maybe I'll be able to get the 30. Oh my god, whoa! Thankfully, hitting the bottom isn't the end of the world, because that just knocks you up. And there you go. So that should be 7 medals, I think. If I've done my math right. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Return to world map. And now we can do... Oh, nice. New product. No, do not go to the shop. We'll do that later, maybe. We'll go to Act Sonic. Hi, this is editor MegaGWolf here. If you are wondering why everything seems a little disconnected right now, it's because for some reason I was convinced that I had already recorded Act 2, which I hadn't. If you're playing a certain character, occasionally an act for another character might appear. And these are usually special acts that have some sort of plot relevance and will allow you to briefly play as a different character. So, for example, if I wasn't playing as Sonic normally, and this act came up, I would temporarily be playing as Sonic. Now, there is 2 exceptions to the rule, and that one of them is a forced special level that you need to play, and one of them actually overwrites a different level. So there's one that if you play it, you won't go on the standard level. Instead, you just play through their act and then you go on to Act 2 right away. So you actually miss out on a level and a whole boss if you do that, which I didn't actually know about until my recordings and deciding to skip that level. So there you go. There's a bit of fun trivia for you. Or did you know? And chances are you did know, maybe. Unless you don't know anything and this is your first time watching, then that's also cool. I'm down for either, honestly. I would love to know. I'd love to know the people watching if they've played Superstars and what they thought. Now, there's been a few patches like fixing bugs in the game over the period of it being out, and I don't know if one of the weirdest bugs, because like I don't know how people still do this sometimes. I don't know if it's been patched out, but originally when I first played this on Twitch, I have a 1440p monitor that runs or can run at 144 hertz. So it can have a refresh rate of 144 FPS, and the spin dash bugs out if you're running at higher than 60. And I don't know if they fixed that or not, but yeah, I used to legit have an issue where I could not spin dash very effectively. It was like worse than the Sonic CD spin dash. Like originally I thought like, oh god, what have they done to this spin dash? thinking it was the game's fault originally, and someone said like, oh, hey, that's weird, it didn't do that for me. And I believe someone then came in and told me that it was like a frame rate issue. And I'm like, how in 2023 do we still have issues with physics being tied to frame rate like this? Like, what in the world? Yeah, I remember that being a big issue. Now, I know that there has been quite a few patches that have come out for this game, but I don't know if that was like one of the things that they fixed or not. Because I haven't actually bothered trying, and I probably should try that at some point, to be quite honest. Oh! Yeah, ways you can tell I've had a bit of a time with this level before, where I basically remember where everything is. Oh no! Wipeout! Murdered. Actual murder. Nice! Actually took me, that's a pretty long level. Nice. I meant to go to world map. I think it's gonna put me in Act 2. But here you go, here's some intricate plot. Very important, as you can see. Am I gonna go to... Yeah, okay, put me in stage 2. Wait. I didn't play stage 2, did I? That's why. Because Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm just having a moment. I just realized that I didn't play through Act 2 for the last video. Excuse me, YouTube. I think I'm going senile. My brain was convinced that I had played through this whole thing. I just realized that I didn't. You know what, maybe I'm adding this on to the end of the other video there now, after all. So, this was a separate video. Now it's on the end of the previous. Amazing. What in the world? I could have, like... Oh my god, my brain is actually fried because of that. What in the world? Oh, my whole day has been thrown off. My mind is not where I think it is. all good, but like, goddamn. And we're getting there eventually, I suppose. I was gonna say, because like, part of me felt like, oh, it wasn't very long. I expected it to take a bit longer to get through these stages, because I know they're not like short. So like, huh. That explains a lot. Oh my god. Well, apart from that, music's pretty good here. Don't think it's T-Lopes this time, but this is one of the ones that is still quite catchy. I think it's because it still fits with Act 1's theme. And the gimmick of this level is kind of annoying, but not like the end of the world, right? Because it's low visibility. But fun fact about this, right? So you have this section where you're like further back. One of my complaints about the game is that things do seem a little bit zoomed in a lot of the time. And while I don't think that it requires to be like that far away, like a middle ground between what we're seeing now and how far away we were just a minute ago would actually be really nice. And I wonder if there's like a way to mod that in. To just have like a slightly more pulled out camera. It wouldn't have to be much. But just enough to like... Yeah, what the hell? Oh my god. Welcome to the first example of a boss that can apparently take a little bit too long. I don't think it's that bad. I understand where people are coming from, more so with this one, for sure, because this one actually, like, you do have to wait for it to attack itself, because you cannot damage it yourself. So... you have to wait for it to do that, and then the claw comes down, and then, yeah, I bet you'll never guess what you have to do with this. Oh, I actually did it too well. Okay. There we go, and then up. And then up. Yeah, because I suppose if you, like, mess it up, that can take longer, right? There goes one hit of 6, I think. Oh, yeah, so you can't attack it, however much you try. And it goes down, and then we do this again. But if you're actually like good at it, you can get it done in 2 hits. You can get it done even less if you're Tails or something, because you can just fly up there and get him to hit himself that way. Woohoo! I fucked that up. And then something slightly different. He'll attack with missiles, and you fling them back at him. So yeah, and he's gonna do the missile thing one more time. Damn it. Ugh. And then I believe it's a hook and then another missile. I think I've played this long enough now for me to know at this point like what these bosses are gonna do. And it's like, oh no! You see, and these last 3 hits are like super close to each other, so that wasn't actually that bad. Took like a minute. There he goes! Alright! Well, now we'll actually end this video, I guess. That's so weird to me. Oh my god. Whee! The plot thickens. Alright guys, have a good one, I guess.